Welcome to the root of all evil. This is your channel host, Silver Slayer. I'm really excited to start this project with you guys. We're going to be talking a lot about our corrupt financial system. If you know me from my main channel, Silver Slayer, we focus on precious metals. But there's a lot of stuff that I want to dive into. I want to dissect our financial system. I want to expose these people, expose the shadiness that's happening behind the scenes, and also to the masses. A lot of times, this type of content gets swept under the rug. So I really want this channel to reach people that normally wouldn't come across this type of content. So make sure you're subscribed, share this channel. Also, if you do want an alternative to the collapsing dollar, then go subscribe to my main channel. Precious metals is by far the safest, smartest alternative to the dollar collapsing. We're throwing out trillions of dollars in stimulus that we don't have. America's already $27 trillion in debt, so we don't have that money to give out. But what's going to happen then? Well, there's going to be a cost to pay. Everyone wants that quick $700 paycheck, but at what cost? But they have no choice. If candidate A, B, or C wanted to win, they had to throw out that $1 trillion stimulus word. So we're backed into a corner. This is specifically a topic that I like to cover because it's one that I don't think people understand. I don't think people fully grasp how severe the situation is. When I say the dollar's on its last leg, I'm not exaggerating. When I say the dollar has lost 98% of its purchasing power, I'm not exaggerating. It's not 97%, it's not 99%, 98%, and 44% in the last 20 years. It's rapidly declining, and that isn't going to go on forever. It has to collapse at some point in time. Now, since this channel is brand new, we're gonna cover, all the different, areas that we need to. And by the way, on this channel, I'm never going to tell you stuff you don't need to know, right? Everything I say is it's straight to the point, and it's only stuff that you need to hear. I'm not going to ramble on. Every single word that comes out of my mouth, every single, article we cover, or every single video is going to be stuff that's key, critical information. And if you are an investor, it's even more important to pay attention to this stuff. You cannot be blindly investing. In today's day and age, too much stuff is happening. There's too many things happening to just be unaware of the markets, of the environment, of the political side of things, of where the future is headed. We're going into a new digital age. Times are changing. How you invested 20 years ago, even 10 years ago, is much different than today. It's much different. The dollar's a lot weaker. And if you guys think that the dollar will recover, or 2021 is going to be a year of recovery, then you're going to be sadly mistaken. Sadly mistaken. Not only did... See, here's the thing. Everything started with the U.S.-China trade war. If you guys remember, back at the end of 2019, the biggest thing that was happening was the U.S.-China trade negotiation. And hear me out on this theory, by the way. It's a crazy theory. Usually when I talk about, theories, it's very light, but this is a deep one. And I'm going to use this channel as a way for me to express more stuff that I couldn't share on my main channel. My main channel, 35,000 subscribers. We're on the road to 40,000. And by the way, I'm giving away more than $1,000 worth of silver on that channel once I hit 40,000. So make sure you're subscribed on that channel, right? And not only just for that reason, because trust me, if you start investing and take some of the tips I use in that channel, you'll be earning yourself a lot more than $1,000 worth of silver. But that's just an incentive for people to subscribe and then, hook them in so they can start their precious metals journey. But besides the point, we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff, a lot of different subjects. In this channel, I'm going to show more about my personal opinion on what's happening. Get out our tinfoil hats, because on my main channel, I want to stay very professional. Now, it started from the U.S.-China trade negotiation. And then what happened? The pandemic. The pandemic started in China. So if the U.S.-China trade negotiation going back and forth, Trump declining, making accusations. The first thing they actually traded was soybeans. And then once they had the final disagreement, all of a sudden the pandemic spreads from China. Now, I'm not gonna say I'm pretty sure you can get what I'm saying is U.S.-China trade negotiations. Then a virus spreads from China to the United States. Coincidence? I don't know. But regardless, the point is, started from U.S.-China trade negotiations. That's what kickstarted precious metals markets. The stock market's going crazy. Then the global pandemic. And by the way, if you also remember, at the end of 2019, it was the Saudi Arabian oil fields getting attacked, the Hong Kong protests. There was a lot of stuff going on at that time that people forget about. That stuff is long gone. Nobody remembers about the U.S.-China trade war. That was a big thing at the time. The global pandemic is obviously much bigger, much more severe, but still, times are changing. Imagine, and this is a perfect example of this. Back in 2008, we had the credit crisis, financial crisis, which a lot of people also don't remember. Okay, that led to recession/depression, billion-dollar stimulus, $50 silver 3 years later. And I'm not going to focus on silver or precious metals on this channel. I'm just giving some examples. This channel right here, this is like an introduction video. The next video is going to be diving into some articles, pulling up some stuff that they don't want you to know. This first one's kind of just giving an overall introduction of the type of stuff we're going to be diving into. So, $50 silver in 2011 started from that whole credit crisis. Now look what's happening. Recession/depression, global pandemic, $1 trillion stimulus. It's the same thing back from what started in 2008, but on a much larger scale. So, and now the dollar already being on its last leg, the US dollar is the world's reserve currency. Every country around the world relies on the dollar's strength. They depend on it. So if the US dollar is going to collapse, then what's going to happen to the rest of the world? They're going to go down with it. That's why some countries are opting out of the US dollar being their currency. And that's probably a smart move. I mean, I was driving down the highway the other day, and I saw a billboard. It said national debt. It had a huge live counter of the U.S. national debt, $27,800 and something billion. And I should have frowned, but I smiled. And I think it was because I was glad that someone put time, money, and energy to expose that stuff to the people, regardless if they believe it or not, if they see it or not. I mean, it was a very obvious billboard. It was huge. But that's besides the point. The point is that someone was willing to put time, money, and energy to show that to the world. It's not just us silver stackers. It's not just these conspiracy videos. It's becoming more mainstream of people knowing. And I don't know if they're ready to believe it or not. That's why stocks are still so big. And why do you think they push precious metals and Bitcoin and anything that goes against the grain under the rug? Why do they try to bash those markets? It's because it's a direct threat to the dollar. Once you transfer your money out of fiat currency into precious metals or even into Bitcoin, you have taken the control in your power. You are now in complete control of your wealth. They don't like that. If you have your money in a bank account, if you're in debt, whatever the case is, you're a slave to the system. They want you to be in debt so they can control you. It's all control tactics. That's why they're going to push, college, anything, high interest rates, taking out loans. All this stuff is so they can keep you in the loop, so they can have you at the mercy of their will. That's why they don't like precious metals. But even nowadays, you know what the craziest part is? You see some banks, Bank of America, Citibank, I think even Saxo Bank, talked about $50, $100 silver by the end of 2021. And even weirder was they used silver, not gold. Gold isn't money. The only reason America is the richest country is because we own the most gold. Not how many paper dollars we print up. It's because we own the most gold. Which is interesting. So think about this. You're saying if we're determining wealth off a country-to-country basis on how much gold they have. So let's put that principle into person to person. So Slayer, you're saying that someone could have $100,000 in their bank account, but the person that has a couple ounces of gold is actually wealthier? Yeah, that's, if we're trying to be literal, then yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got a little glimpse of the type of stuff we're going to be talking about. This video, I did incorporate a lot of precious metals into the subject, and it's not going to be like that all the time. A lot of videos are going to be focusing strictly on the dollar. That's actually the direction I want this channel to go. This introduction video did have a lot of gold and silver talk, but it's also because I want you guys to subscribe to my main channel. Link will be in the description. And I say that because I want people to have a choice. Imagine the people that don't even have a choice. Imagine not coming across this video and never hearing about precious metals or how it could literally save your future, your financial future. Think about that. Imagine people that don't even have the option to do that because they've never come across this type of information. So make sure you subscribe, share this channel, share my main channel to your friends and family. You should be subscribed on both. I'm going to be posting 1-2 videos a week on this channel, and on my other channel, I post daily videos. So I hope to see you guys around. I hope you're excited for this new project. I'm really excited myself because I know a lot more than just gold and silver. There's a lot of other things I want to dive into and learn myself and educate people on than just precious metals. Now, that's my main focus, but I definitely see a lot more potential with what I can do. Hope you're excited. This was Silver Slayer. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoy the root of all evil. Peace.